But I think lots of highs, they should play aggressively now when they still have that bursty effect, Assassin combo. And they are checking out first blood, though goes in the way of Balatron. They get the kill onto the top lane. I think it's the Jawhead, but we just saw Uranus getting picked up on the bottom side. So 1-for-1 trade, not too bad for both teams. And obviously next fight will happen in the mid arena. The Abyssal Arrow, that's gonna be really crucial for Balatron Battle Angels, because they are counting a lot on this Abyssal Arrow to land and set up a lot of this fight for them. Pixie taking a lot of unnecessary damage, was just to ward off the mid lane from reaching the bot. Chinoy taking damage from the Jawhead as well, should be fine by himself. Jaw up against Gummy. The Gummy was a little bit unfortunate. The Transcendent Ward wasn't able to keep himself alive. We're gonna see a small invasion down onto mid. Lena spotted 3 members there, and it's really vital because now she knows that there might be someone coming to bot, although they decided to go for their own blue buff. Link up against Tamus. Molten Scythes coming back to him. He has to use the flicker, but Ash and Vivian, they're not willing to give this up. Abyssal Arrow will land onto the Tamus, and that is 1 kill in the back. Meanwhile, Transcendent Ward right onto this Hylos, but he's a big boy, really tanky hero, not able to get any kill there, and they will back off. It's a really close call, but no, not too bad from Balatron. Battle Angels that did manage to pick up a kill from the Tamus, and that's gonna allow the Uranus to split push. Meanwhile, top lane, Unstoppable Force coming up from Vinny. Allow them to get a kill and get a push as well. 2 teams going back and forth with the opposite lanes. Meanwhile, middle of the lane, here we go. Tappers of Blade stuns him up, but where is the follow-up? It's all down, and Kufra and Xbox are already out of the fight. And now we got Gami trying to stay alive. Oh, the jump across the wall gets the trick done, and now Ash is gonna help Pew for his teammate. Not too bad, not too bad. Both teams not willing to let the other side get any sort of advantage early into the game. This is shaping up to be the closest game. I feel it. It's still early, but I can feel that this game is going to be so tight. Also for highest, they're looking to take the turtle, although Balatron, they do spot out their opponents in those bushes with the Abyssal Arrow. It's just such an annoying thing to deal with. Once again, the chain stun onto the Tamus. He can't do anything, even if it's ultimate on standby. Look at that, the Feathered Ash Strike comes and they get the kill right onto the Uranus. Is that enough? Ash now all by himself has to dash out in time. Vivian's still going back for seconds. They might be able to get the kill onto Hylos, but is that the target that they want? Angel Germany so close, and it looks like the Abyssal Arrow would not land, and that's gonna be 2 for 2. Both on the tanks and fighters. Pretty fair trade. Once again, really close engagement from both sides. And we do have the Xbox also in the 1v1 against Jawhead, not really able to achieve much against one another. Like the fact that the Hanzo picked up the cooldown boost just to reduce the amount of time he needs to wait in between so that he can activate his critical ninja state. Tamus meanwhile bottom lane gets pressured by the Uranus. Has to be really careful. Conscription is not skilled to deal with. Every single time you think Uranus is going down, he has Radiance as well as Conscription to keep him alive, the regen, and they definitely gonna need Necklace of Durance to deal with this Uranus, I would say, and I believe that's gonna be the fast start that picks it up. Meanwhile, once again, a total fight happening. Although Ling did manage to pick up a kill right onto the middle lane, onto the far side. He also managed to pick up the first tier tower, and he's also pressuring that tier 2. I presume that Hanzo, look at that, Hanzo, not bad. Manages to go to the building. Meanwhile, top lane, Jawhead once again getting another solo kill onto the Xbox, but not before his first tier fall. So it looks like we do see a bit of objective gaming coming from Balatron. They are leading by 3k. They did manage to get the turtle, the first turtle of the game. Ash also pressuring onto Matcha on the bot lane so that Uranus can push out. Jawhead trying to do the same thing on the opposite side. Selena Summon to defend the first tier. Bellatrón starting to ramp up the pressure right now. You can definitely feel that lots of highs, they are itching for a team fight, but they can't seem to find the right angle to take fights, because it's just so tough when Bellatrón, Battle Angels are avoiding these huge team fights. Look at that, they're just focusing on split pushing. They're not interested on this 5-on-5. They want to split push, and the most that you see Bellatrón, Battle Angels commit to a fight is when they group up in 3s. That's about it. You don't really see them grouping up in 5s, grouping up in 4s. It's really rare for them, and even now, look at that. You got Uranus coming in to help. Hylos might be going down really soon. The punch is enough, and they do get the return kill onto the Uranus. Meanwhile, fight breaking into 2. Vivian has to use the flicker to get out of the way. I think Link kind of overextended there for the Q, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. He tried to get something out of that. They did manage to get the Farsa and the Hylos, so I wouldn't say that is the worst case. And you also see lots of highs pushing out the top wave now. Although he has to defend that blue buff, not sure he can do much. Xbox lingering nearby, stopped by that wall. Boba uses a Tyrant's Rage just to stun up the Jawhead for a couple of seconds. But that did keep him alive. So far, fair play to Pixie there. Lots of highs, doing their best to try to push back this objective gaming coming from Bellatrón, Battle Angels, because they don't want to give away too many of these turrets. Because what that happens is that you give away the map presence. You don't really have the safety of the turrets to fight under. And now they want to contest for the turtle. Kufra comes in. You can see the moment Kufra comes in, lots of highs. They have to back off right now. Matcha dropping really low. Gami staying hot on his heels. I'm not sure if they can make it out. Meanwhile, lots of highs. They still want to go for this Pixie. He manages to get away. And now Rainion gets stunned up by the Abyssal Arrow. And that's going to be it. Tavern's Revenge coming in to secure the Q. Vanny uses the flicker there. Unstoppable Force does have ejector, but out of range. And that is a huge team fight going in the favor of Bellatrón Battle Angels. Oh, a little bit of crying going on. Why are you running? They are asking. But, you know, trying to keep himself alive. Abyssal Arrow easily dodge. Ling gonna give up the chase. And like I said, that was a really good engagement coming from Bellatrón Battle Angels, because they did manage to get 4 Qs, I don't believe 3 Qs out of that, and they also managed to get a bit of that map pressure going on. You know, they secured the turtle before the fight took place, and they did manage to secure a couple of turrets in the process of that whole team fight, or rather the aftermath of the team fight. So Bellatrón Battle Angels, like I said, ahead now. They got the 5k goal lead in the 10-minute mark. They got a bit of that map control going in their favor. They're controlling the bottom half of the map. You can see Kufra and Uranus just sticking close by the jungle. I believe that's a dead Jawhead. The last Insanity secured their kill. And Bellatrón Battle Angels, they're just not stopping. Look at that. They're just making sure that they control every single portion of the map. Meanwhile, Tempest of Blades in the middle of nowhere. The mayhem. And they set up this trap. They managed to get the kill on the Jawhead as well as the Hanzo. And now Rion's in trouble himself. They're sticking on these Hylos, but they're finding him so thick. In fact, he's the only hero that I think they have, much difficulty taking down. The rest of the heroes, they can just pretty much dive underneath the turret. But it isn't the end of the world for lots of highs yet. They still have this. The Ghosts, they are controlling their part of the jungle, but it looks so tough because you look at that. Jawhead just managed to revive, comes back to lane, immediately gets taken out. No chance whatsoever. The moment that Abyssal Arrow lands, you know that's a dead Jawhead. Rion trying to clear this waves with the Ring of Punishment. The turret did take quite a beating, down to half HP. On the other side, Bellatrón Battle Angels are really starting up the Lord. Glorious pathway being laid down by Rion, but is by himself. Meanwhile, Gami manages to jump right onto the Tamu, is being taken down really quickly. Rion trying to run for the pace, but his kid is being stuck on by those Transcendent Wards, and the Ionic Age will pick up the kill onto the Hylos. And now not only did they get 2 kills, they managed to kill a lot, and Battletron Battle Angels are now ahead by so much. The super minion waves will start pushing in. The Lord's gonna knock down onto the middle. And I think this is gonna be a really tough match for Lords of Ice to come back. The only way I see them coming back into this is if Battletron Battle Angels make a mistake. But for now, they are ahead. And when I mean ahead, I mean, whoa, look at that. You know, that 5k goal lead, it just shot up within a couple of minutes. 10k goal lead now already, 11k goal lead. And you know, they have the Lord, they have the super minion waves pushing on down the lanes. And I gotta say, in order for Lords of Highs to come back, they need to survive this push. They need to prevent a tier 3 tower going down, because you know, once that tier 3 goes down in either of these lanes, Lords of Highs are gonna receive so much pressure from Battletron Battle Angels. Meanwhile, Lord pushing onto the top. Krufar goes in with the Tyrant's Revenge. He's looking for the perfect ultimate, but still holding on to it. Tempest of Blade allows Ash to get the kill onto the, I believe, the Hanzo, and that's a bulk of the damage going down. And now Lords of Ice, they can smell the defeat in the first game. Chinoi goes in with the last Insanity, blows it up. They stun the High Lords, they burn him right through the fire missiles, taking its toll on this tanky horse. And now I believe that's gonna be a GG coming out really soon. Macha still trying to defend valiantly, gets bursted out in a split second. Rion also trying to use the Ring of Punishment to take down the creeps whatsoever. Another Tempest of Blade comes up, the Fasa gets blown up, and Rion goes down. And eventually, at the end of the day, I think as much as Lords of Highs is trying to defend this, eventually the game will go to Battletron, or rather the first game will go to Battletron.